All right, y'all. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? Bulletproof Sunday. What's going on, y'all? Saint Thrillis, my brother. Shayna Ewing, what's going on? My sister. We're gonna get into a little bit of part two. The first part I brought to you guys was about in the aspect of a woman becoming a volunteer principal at a school, and she had to understand the children at that school when she was going, that she found out. She says, what's up, Jason? What's going on, my brother? When I heard this outburst of laughter, and I was shocked, and I said, you got to talk to me. You got to talk to me about why you're laughing at something so horrendous. Well, they showed the video similar to the Columbine shooting. And one of the girls laughed in the audience, and she asked, well, why are you laughing at something so horrendous? And one of the girls, in a sweet voice, she said, Miss Wayman, do you really think that was something? She said, we see that every night on our block. That's nothing compared to what we see. I understood why there was so much violence, because the kids were in a deep state of despair. They were so traumatized by their own lives, they could not even feel for others. I knew the only way to turn the school around was to love them, was to love those children for who they were. So we kind of got on the side as far as healing from past trauma. On they was traumatized by the way that they live, and they couldn't feel for anybody else because they felt that they had it the worst out of anybody. So she did it from a love perspective, loving the children for who they were, believing in the children that she had to look over for a period amount of time throughout the days of their life as they're in school. So in that aspect, she did it by saying that I'm gonna accept these children for who they are, no matter what other people think about them. I'm gonna love them for who they are. And so she did her healing through love, showing the children that with hope, and with someone saying that they love them every day, telling them that they're beautiful every day. She kind of did it through her actions, and her actions was to show these kids love. When everybody else counted them out, she believed in them, and they gave them hope to become better children, or better human beings through their trauma, as far as their neighborhood and how they grew up. It was something else she said. She would get on the intercom. She would say, "You are great this morning, young people. I love to see you smile. I love to see you happy. I want you to be happy today, tomorrow, and forever. And remember, young people, if nobody don't tell you they love you, you remember I do, and I always will." And then she would go on to say, but people would say to me, how could you love children like that? Look at them. So she saw the good in them when everybody else saw the bad. Nobody seen the neighborhood that they came from, what they had to go through throughout their daily lives, just dealing with living in their neighborhood, and and growing up in their neighborhood and seeing the trauma. Brothers getting shot, mothers getting shot, daddies getting shot, uncles getting shot. It was like a war zone. So that's just a recap of the week before. I didn't go on. That was the first healing through past healing. Hey, what did I name this? I'm retarded, y'all. I forgot what I named it. Healing. I want to make sure I do the right thing. Not right thing, but make sure I say the right title because I'm retarded right now. Oh, everybody, my IG page is hacked. I am on my other one that I started before I started the one that I was on previously. So disregard that one. If you see a D as my icon, that is me. I'm trying to get my other page back. They have to report to me within 3 to 4 business days. I think I did it yesterday, so probably hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be locked back into my other IG. So it is what it is. Healing from past trauma. Okay. I am going to throw out this link if anybody want to get involved, if anybody has something to say. So this week, we are going to come from generational to generational trauma. We're going to deal with that. And I'm going to go and paste it down here. This one comes from Denzel Washington speaking on how to be a father or on being a father. And it can go from mother to mother, father to father, whichever way you want to take it. But we're going to focus on the father to father or father to son trauma, which is, like I said, generational trauma. Some words that we're going to dive into, or I want to really point out throughout this, is once again past, gone by in time, and no longer existing. Trauma, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Frustration, the feeling of being upset or annoyed, especially because of inability to change or achieve something. Expect, regard, something as likely to happen. Pain, cause mental or physical pain too. We're going to get into that. Them are some keywords that I want you guys to lock up on. Y'all know I don't do the notes, but like I said before in my first live with the part 1, this is a healing journey for me as well. I'm able to, kind of talk about it or whatnot, and through other people, and through what I see. Hot Tub Tony, what's going on? Ghetto, what's going on, brother? If y'all want to jump in, y'all can. I did drop that link, but I'm gonna try to see if I can do this video that I sent to myself, y'all. And I'm about to see how this can work for me. So I'm gonna be back and forth, y'all. I'm still here, y'all, but I'm on my other screen as well. So give me a second. Oh shoot. Okay, I gotta update that. No problem. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all. I hate this thing. I sent it. Oh, y'all, I ain't went nowhere. I'm over here. Oh, Corey was on live? Oh, I gotta put my notification on for Corey. I didn't know Corey was on live. Y'all give me 1 second. Shit. Oh my God. I call y'all, so I call it sending it to myself, but hold on, y'all. Let me see something, y'all. I'm gonna try to share some. Let's see, share. No. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to figure out something. I call myself sending it to me, but I know how that is. When you try to send yourself something. I might just have to show it on my phone, y'all. Ah, dog it. I hate computers. I really need to learn how to do this. James Wells, what's going on? Stardust, what's going on? Go check her out on I want to say on Thursdays. Check out Stardust and Bougie Prepper. Real good show, real informational. But we're gonna get into it, y'all. I'm not gonna waste any more time trying to figure out how to down. I call myself sending it to my email, but that didn't work. So we're just gonna this really sucks. I really need to learn how to do this, y'all. Hold on. I don't want to share the screen. But I'm only gonna be here for an hour, so let's get started. I'm gonna play this video that Denzel Washington hold on, y'all. Let me see something. Let me see. Shit, I can't do it. I'll try it later. Okay, y'all. We're gonna get into the video. I just do it on my phone. All right. So, as I said, remember some keywords when I play this video. Frustration, expect, and pain. Heal and trauma, past, and healing. The process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. So remember that. All right, y'all. I'm going to play this video right quick. With Denzel Washington speaking on father and fatherhood. And we're going to jump into the trauma thing. Let me see. It's got to be on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, now I want to do something. Okay. All right, y'all.
Can you talk about African American men and how this movie speaks to them? Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. A lot of pain in Troy's life is a result of the pain and the damage from his father that he then visits on his son. We have to, as black men, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So be a man.
I want y'all to. I'm gonna play it one more time for y'all, because to me that was a very powerful statement. You know, it's not just us, but
you talk about African American.
It's a movie that he did.
This movie speaks to them. Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. A lot of pain in Troy's life is a result of the pain and the damage from his father that he then visits on his son. We have to, as black men, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So be a man.
And we're going to address father to son. He says once again, Pain is passed down from father to son. Oh, my sister, the pimp, man, I hope your grandmother's doing well. Yeah, if you got something from my IG that's not me, I got hacked on my IG, so please, anything come to you guys, ignore it. I am on my other IG. This is an IG page that I created before the one that I was on a couple days ago. So definitely do not, anything come to y'all dealing with my IG, do not, it's not me. It's not me. So I definitely I forgot about that. Yeah, let me put that out there. That's not me as of, I want to say Thursday or Friday. I haven't had control of my IG. I just had to send them a face recognition so they can send me it back so I could be able to get into my IG, maybe hopefully by Friday. So yeah, do not respond to anything as far as IG unless it has, now my old one has the D as the icon on it. So if it's not a picture of me, but it's actually the D, like the Detroit Tigers logo. So if you see that Detroit Tigers logo, that's me. Other than that, it's not me. So we're gonna hop into generational trauma, past trauma. And if you saw that, Denzel Washington speaking on being a father. Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. So as you can see, it's a generational curse, and that could be anything, because a lot of the generational curse is they're not being there. My dad stopped with him. I don't know before his dad. I mean, his daddy. I don't know about that. But no, my dad stopped with him. My dad took care of his children, raised his children, but his dad wasn't there for him. His dad was more making babies, fraternize, messing with different women, having different kids by different women. So my dad kind of stopped that, and it stopped with me and my brother. So one thing my dad did do, yeah, ghetto, I had to do face recognition to get to, then they supposed to be hitting me back in the next 3 to 4 days. So my dad kind of stopped with him and my brother, me and my brother, and he was there. He was a father. Did he make a lot of mistakes as a father? Yes, he did. But he was there. And by him being there, I kept my butt out of jail. I kept my butt out of prison. I kept my butt out of the graveyard. So I appreciate my dad for that, for being there for me. But as Denzel said, pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. A lot of pain in Troy's life, which is, I think, is a movie that he did, is a result of pain and damage from his father that he then visits on his son. So it goes from Troy's father to him, which is Troy, his son, and then Troy puts the same trauma on his son. So if then it visits his son, we have to, as black men, which is men, period, we have to be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. So not only can you take it out on your own children, but you could take it out with the people that's around you. So it becomes you become very toxic. I guess the word that I want to use, with the people that's around you. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers. If you're going to lay out here, you're going to make children, be a father. You can't stop being a father when you want to be a father. Father is 24 hours, 7 days a week, non-stop, even when they get grown. You never, when my kids get grown, I'm never stop being a father until the day that I'm gone. Until God say, Jamal, I want you home. That's the day I stop being a father, when God calls me home. Other than that, when they grown butts get 30, 40, I'm their father regardless. They're still my children, but they're grown. The one thing I hope to do is to teach them how to be responsible. Make sure you get your bills paid. Make sure you do what you got to do to make sure you take care of your family. And that's what I'm in, especially with my son. and some things with him this week has been happening, but I had to kind of let it go and come back to it later on. So we do have a responsibility and a duty to be a father, not just to make babies. So if you're around here sleeping with women, if you're out here sleeping with women, and you end up getting them pregnant, then it's your responsibility to take care of that child, no matter what. If it's a one night stand, you get her pregnant. You don't really know her, but it could be detrimental to you because you can end up being on child support, and that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, she can give you a very hard time about you seeing your child. So that's why I say, be very careful and diligent who you decide to give yourself to. Not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. Like I said, a father job never, you don't get a break. I swear, I be wanting to get a break from my kids, and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you I'm in the same household as them. All right, Stardust, thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. And sometimes I want to throw them out, go to your grandparents' house, but at the same time, me and my wife laid down together. Me and my wife had them. Me and my wife got to take care of them. Regardless of the hard times they give us sometimes, we have to take care of them. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or on your daughter. So be a man. Being a man means you're going to have to deal with them until you're dead and gone. Some of the decisions that they are going to make, and you have taught them not to make them decisions, you still have to be a parent or a dad or a mother, regardless. We have to break, and like I said before, and this one touched on me with my dad, because my dad didn't know my dad, and my grandfather. I didn't know my grandfather. I didn't see my grandfather until he laid in the casket. I never met my grandfather. I probably met him once or twice when I was a little kid, real little kid. But as far as in my adult life, I never met my grandfather until he laid in the casket, until my dad had to bury his dad. I did not know my grandfather. So, in that case, my dad broke that generational curse by raising his two sons, putting food on the table, didn't run away from that responsibility of being a father. He taught me how to go mow grass. A lot of people ask me, and I do a lot of lawn service for my friends and family for free, because people don't understand. My dad, when me and my dad made time, we made time doing yards on the weekend. That's how I spent time with my dad. That's the only way I know how to. Only way I spent time with my dad was working. So when I go do lawns, it reminds me of being out there with my dad. Or when I go do yard work for friends or family, it's me connecting with my dad. Even though my dad is a couple thousand miles away, it's still that connection. When I go do yards, it's still with me and my dad, because I can remember me and my dad getting up Saturday morning, loading the truck, and we'll literally be out all day Saturday cutting yards, just me and my dad. So when I do lawn work, it reminds me of me and my dad being out there when I was younger, when I was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, doing lawns with him, and being able to push that lawnmower while he edged the grass. And that's how me and my dad spend time. Misunderstood what's going on. So that's how me and my dad connected, and that's how me and my dad spent time. My dad was more worried about providing, making sure we had a roof over our head. My dad didn't really say he loved me. I didn't grow up with my dad saying he loved me. So, like I said, he didn't get that when he was growing up. My grandfather wasn't there for my dad. My grandfather was with this woman, that woman, and wasn't worried about his responsibility as a father. And so my dad had to learn everything on his own on how to be a father. And one thing my dad didn't do, and maybe that's probably because he was still dealing with my grandfather and didn't know how to deal with him. My dad did not say he loved me. He didn't tell me and my sister, my brother, that he loved us every day he left the house. So that's something that I do with my kids. When I leave the house, I always tell them that I love them and I'll see you later. So that's one thing my dad didn't do that I said, you know what? I didn't get that. So maybe if I do that with my children, then, just let them know that, no matter what you do, you every day you get I leave out this house, you're going to hear, I love you, baby. I love you, son. And that's just a mission that I had when I decided, when I became a father, was to show my children, not only by going out providing, but to actually let them hear me say, I love you. Good job. I didn't get that from my dad, but I don't blame my dad because my dad didn't get that from his dad. So my dad had to learn it all on his own. So with that being said, healing, we have to find a way to heal and to kind of stop that generational curse. And it's more with the, father and son, or either the father and the daughter. We have to, if you decide to make the decision to sleep with a young lady and the outcome is a baby boy or a baby girl, you have to do everything in your power. You have to do everything in your power to make sure you're there for that baby boy, that baby girl, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault. You lay down with her, you decide to do what you wanted to do. So now the outcome is you have a little one on the way. Tech Life J, what's going on? So, and then with what's going on today, I don't want nobody else to, and I don't want anybody else to entice my children, or, even especially my baby girl, for a man, from a boy to come up and be like, well, I love you. No. My daddy already shows me. My daddy I already know my dad loves you. So what can you do for me? And it's not now, because she's done but 9. But when she gets up into them teenage age, what can you do for me? And I'm not saying money, everything has to be money, but you're going to have to show my daughter something different, because she already know her dad loves her. Her dad takes care of her. So what can you do outside what my dad does? And that's been one of my missions, especially for my daughter, dealing with these knuckleheads that's coming up. I only hope that I do the right thing to show her that going to work, a man don't have to be a billionaire. A man can grow. A man can, and with your help, you can build an empire. You can build a $1 million company, a $1 billion company. But how hard is he willing to work to get there? And that's why I work as hard as I do. T-shirt. I got a T-shirt print. I got a T-shirt heated thing. I'm on YouTube. I YouTube 2 YouTube channels. So I'm always grinding. I'm always working cameras. I'm always figuring something out to do. So it's not all about the money that a person brings. It's about the potential and what they can do creatively to maybe one day become a powerhouse. So that's what I want to teach my daughter. Yeah, and that's absolutely true. Pepper 101. If you're not raising your own children, someone will. Let that sink in. If you're not raising your children, it's gonna be, and we'll get into, and the one thing me and my wife did was my children started going over, well, especially family. They just now starting to go over family house. When my kids was little, it was me and my wife watching my kids. And no offense to anybody else, but we knew that was going to be secure. We didn't have to worry about nobody messing with them, touching them, because we made sure we raised our children. Well, no nannies and none of that. My wife stayed home when they was young. My wife raised my children. We didn't have to worry about dropping them off. Now that they're old enough and they're school age children, my wife decided to start working. But the deal was for me to go work financially, make sure the household is secure, no matter what financial, legally, not illegally, but legally, that I would take care while she was pregnant and raising my children. So you gotta be able to, and that's the responsibility that I took on and I decided to take on because I didn't want anybody else raising my children from baby, from infant all the way up to them being able to get in school. I wanted my wife to do that. So in order for me to do that, I had to make sure that I was willing and dedicated to make sure that I'm so responsible for the financial part of what's going on in my household. Everybody don't work like that, but that's just the way we decided because there's so much going on with kids getting touched, and that's family as well. Family, friends, nannies beating on kids. So it's just we didn't feel that at the I ain't gonna say at the time, but that's just the way we felt structurally that it would work for us. So I didn't complain because that's something that we both decided to do, and I decided to take on that financial responsibility to make sure my kids had their mother there every step of the way until they got into school. And it definitely worked out for us. I'm not saying it works out for everybody else, but that's just what we felt that was right for our children. And me being there as a father. Do I work all the time? Yes. Do I take some time off to make sure that I, hit a couple of events? Yes, I do. At that time, we was in an apartment. Now we're in a house. So, if you know about a house, the mortgage is a little bit up there compared to rent. But that's a sacrifice I decided to make for my family. It might not be the right one for y'all, but for mine, I felt that it was the right thing to do.
Taco's ready.
Okay, I'll come get some in a minute.
Okay.
So it's all about the checks and balances, like Stardust said. Thank you, 2A in LA, man. That's my partner from LA, man. Great guy, better in Nashville. Definitely go check his channel out. He does have some fire. When I say some fire, I picked him for one of the ones with the greatest gun collection last year in that category because I felt he had one of the dopest gun collections. And to me, he still has one of the dopest gun collections. I love his gun collection. The best life was going on. I'm glad to do that, brother. I hope it's good things. Starts at home and how adults see their dad and mom interact. It makes it set the standard for what they. That's exactly right. Like Jay, you're absolutely right, man. That's why, even with me and my wife, we might have a disagreement, but I'm doing it in front of our children. And most of the time, I believe I'm right, but that's here or there, Javon, what's going on? But we definitely have to, and I'm gonna invite people in if you want to talk on the generation to generation trauma. If you want to, chime in a little bit, you can. But I don't know if anybody was in here. I see a lot of people just now getting in here. I'm gonna play that video one more time for you guys on what we're talking about. We're talking about healing from past trauma. Last week it was more on a woman which was volunteered to be a principal at a school at one of the most dangerous schools in America, and she found out that the trauma that they have in their neighborhood because they showed a reenactment of the Columbine in her school because it was a violent, dangerous school. One of the young women bust out laughing, and she asked her, "Why was you laughing?" And she said, "Well, Miss Wayman, you think that's something? You ain't heard or seen nothing than what was going on in our neighborhood." So with that, she said she was going to love the children for who they were. So in that case, the way she went about healing was to show the children that she loves them no matter who they are. She only loves them for who they are. And so that was a very powerful, and thanks to Carbon last week, she kind of helped me out. Linda Cliatt Wayman, the last hope for the most dangerous school in America. If you want to go look up a story, I think it's on Facebook. Very wonderful story about her being a volunteer principal going in one of the most violent schools, being threatened. One of the boys threatened her life. And that really woke up to where maybe one day by the neighborhood that she's principal in, that it's not hard for the young man to get a gun and actually have a bullet with her name on it. So it kind of brought her back. Black guns and guard, what's going on? To reality that, it could be possible that this young man can get a hold of a gun and put a bullet in her head. So eventually she ended up turning that school around. A lot of her children end up going to colleges and, just stuff like that. So in her situation, she used love as a healing to her, to use to get with her, help heal her students. This week we're diving more into the generational curse or the generational trauma, where Denzel played in a movie, and in this movie he talked about being a father. And we're gonna play this again because I know some of you wasn't here when I played it.
Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. A lot of pain in Troy's life is a result of the pain and the damage from his father that he then visits on his son. We have to, as black men, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So, be a man.
Shout out to Denzel Washington, man. That's definitely a powerful comment that he played in a movie, and the movie was about a son being dealing with the trauma of his dad not being there for him. And that's where the generational trauma comes from. And I'm gonna repeat what he said, but I'm gonna break it down a little bit more like I did earlier for the ones that's just now getting in here. But pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. So not only is the father passing down trauma, but his son is going to pass down trauma from his son. His son is going to pass the trauma down to his son. So that's why it becomes a generational trauma. A lot of pain in Troy's life is a result of the pain and damage from his father that he then visits on his son. We have to, as black men, we have to be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we have, that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or on your daughter. Be a man. There you go. I like that, gal. And you know what? Like I said before, kudos to my dad doing what he did and raising me, my brother, my sister with what he did not know. So one thing about being a parent, you don't get a guidebook or you don't get that book on how to be a parent. No, that's yeah. Work on yourself. That's actually. And that's what I'm hoping with mine as well, Stardust. I'm hoping that they see what I'm doing, that I'm constantly trying to make them become better citizens, not only better citizens, but be a better parent than I am. I make a lot of mistakes as well because my dad didn't have that solid foundation the way he can say, I learned this from my dad, I learned that from my dad. One thing I could say about my dad, by me living with him until I got on my own and got married, or until I stopped living with him anyway, was he taught me how to be a man, how to no matter what comes your way as a man, be responsible for what you can be responsible for, and what you cannot control, you don't worry about it. You just hope for the best. So I do appreciate my dad. My dad stopped it with me and my brother and my sister. So the generational curse stopped with my dad. And now with my dad, I'm able to still learn from him, even as at the age of 28, going on 29 this month. I can honestly say I'm still learning from my dad. And I've learned from my dad on how he raised me and my brother and my sister. And it's not his fault, because he wasn't able to learn from a blueprint. He had to make up his own blueprint. And from his blueprint, I learned what to do and what not to do. Now, let me say this. When I first had children, my wife said, "You act just like your father." I didn't understand what she was saying at first. You're quick to yell, you're quick to whoop, but you're not quick to talk. So I had to recreate myself as a father when it came to my children. Am I all the way there? Do I still make the same mistakes that my dad did? Yes, I do. But consciously, I'm trying to do a lot better. And that's no knock to my dad, because my dad only could do it the way he learned. And he learned by his own mistakes and him and his own way of parenting. So I can't blame him, but I can only learn from him. And thank God I was able to get that from him, because he decided to say, I'm going to raise my children to the best of my ability. And Dad, I love you. Thank you for that. He taught me how to work. That's why I stay at work. It's all because of my dad. Because when I was in high school, I was working at Farmer Jack, but I'll also every Saturday get up with him. And I'm telling you, literally, kids talking about going outside on a Saturday to go play. My Saturdays was help my dad load that truck with that lawn equipment, and we heading out, and we were going to be all day doing lawns. Silverback, what's going on, brother? Howard J, what's going on? So thank God my daddy broke that. I've learned, and I'm still learning from his mistakes. Did I take on some of my dad's stuff? Yeah, he raised me. So naturally, some of the stuff that he did when I had my children, I did as well. But through my wife, and thank God for her, I had to learn another way on how to discipline my children. Only thing I know was yelling, whoop your butt. I'm only gonna tell you one time. If you don't do it the one time, you're gonna get a spanking. So I had to learn. My wife taught me you have to do that a little different. So I had to learn how to do it a little different when it came to mine. So I thank God for him. I thank God for the lessons that he taught me, but I also thank God for the mistakes that he made. Because if he didn't make any, where would I be? So I thank my dad for making the mistakes, but also being a great father that kept me on my toes, that kept me out of trouble, that wasn't about the bull drive. Hey, you do what you're gonna do. You get yourself in some trouble, you're on your own. Now, when I did end up in this case, end up getting thrown out when I was in college, but he told me, he said, we're going to get you this lawyer. And if we get you this lawyer, let me know now before I waste my money. Did you do it? And when I told my daddy no, they went and got me a lawyer, and the rest of that is history. But my dad always instilled in me, hey, you go out there and do something you ain't supposed to be doing, don't call me. But if I spend this money and then you end up lying to me, then we're gonna have more than a problem. So just tell me the truth now, and we'll deal with it now, rather than me finding out something different when we get in this courtroom and we don't waste our money trying to fight for you. So that always stuck in my head with my dad. And even with babies, my dad always told me, you lay down and have a baby, be expected to take care of them. That's something I did. Them the two things I learned from my dad when growing up. If you're going to have babies, take care of them. If you get yourself in some trouble and you're doing something you ain't got no business doing, don't call me. Serve your time. I'll see you when you get out. I'm going to drop this link one more time if anybody want to come in. I got about 15 more minutes, and I'm going to get up out of here because I got to go eat, and then I got to do something for my father-in-law. But yeah, that's true. You got to, and I had to learn to develop as a new father. I definitely had to learn how to kind of pull back. Don't be so quick to, to beat that butt, but to kind of see what was you thinking. And if you do it again, then there's gonna be consequences and repercussions for you doing the same thing, because obviously you're saying F me as your father. So now I'm more quick to let's see what's going on. Let's see what happened. And if you do it again, then it's gonna be me and you. So I'm way more on the talk first and then whip later. My dad was more hollering, get your butt on that bed, strip you down. You about to get the business. And so and like I said before, I was one of the ones that was more like my dad. What's going on, OG $2? So I had to learn how to scale that back and learn how to be more understanding, more letting them understand that you have a voice. If you want to come and talk to me about something, we could talk. If you feel like something is going that you don't think me and your mother is doing right, we can sit down and have a chat. Ain't nothing wrong with having a chat. Let me see where you at, how you feel, and then I will ultimately make the decision on what's going to go on, or your mother's going to make the ultimate decision of what's going to go on. Say it different. Well, what I say wrong, OG? Oh, I guess when I said strip you and whip your butt. Well, when he get ready to, put that leather on you. Oh, what's going on, Hot Tub? Man, tell your mom I said what's up. Mrs. Hot Tub, how you doing? So we definitely have to break, and I'm talking to my black males. We have to break that that chain of that constant chain of generation to generation trauma. AK Level, what's going on? I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys, man. It's just I got another one or two that I'm gonna do as well. We just doing it from different perspectives on trauma. And one thing about us in the black community, we don't talk about and that's the same thing with my dad. I never seen my dad cry. Only time I seen my dad cry, I want to say when he had to put my dog down, which was Lady. We grew up with her since I was in middle school. A couple years ago, he had to, because she was a rock runner, that he was going to cut grass, and she had this big truck chain on her neck, and you could see her rib cage. They ended up letting my dad take that dog home, and that dog had been with us for years. Until a couple years ago, he had to put her down, and my dad cried like a baby. I've never seen my daddy cry as much as he did when we had to let that dog down. And I only think he cried when his father died, but like I said, his father wasn't there for him. My dad didn't get to know his father until he became, I think my dad said when he came, we got in his 40s or something. So, but it's known in it may be in other cultures, but I'm gonna speak on my culture. The black community, you cry, that's a sign of being weak. I never seen my dad cry. Like I said, only time I seen my dad cry when my great grandmother died, when his grandmother died, and when our dog Lady died, or when he had to go put her down because of her. If you know about Rottweilers, they back legs go out, and he used to have to carry her up the stairs and carry her to the base. I mean, in the backyard for her to use the restroom. So after a while, he finally got the strength to have Humane Society put her down, and that was the 2 times I seen my dad cry, and I'm 38 going on 39 this year. So it wasn't. I didn't grow up with my dad crying, my dad showing emotions. So it just that's who my dad was. Only thing I see my dad do was go to work, help make sure the bills are paid. What's up, Carbon Q? My sister, man, one of the hardest working ladies in this YouTube community. XD40D, what's going on? AK Lover. So growing, I thought crime was a sign of weakness, and that's something that maybe I picked up on my dad, because like I said, my dad didn't cry. I only see my dad cry twice. That's when his grandmother died, my great grandmother, and that's when Lady, our pet bull that he got from doing some lawns, ended up fattening her up, and she ended up, I want to say about 12 to 14 years of my life was Lady. So and that's a problem we have in the Black community, that if you cry or you show some type of emotion, then you're weak. And like I said, maybe that's something that I maybe picked up on my dad when I was growing up, because I never seen him cry. Only thing I seen my dad do was work. And he didn't, like I said, he didn't say he loved me. He didn't tell my sister he loved her. He didn't tell my brother he loved her. But that's something he didn't get, so that's something he didn't learn. So I picked that up. Yeah, they pretty much, he got, I think he's 2 or 3 more of his dogs. My dad surrounds himself with dogs. My dad has about, I want to say about 6, 7 dogs. He loves his dogs. Bridges, what's going on? So that's generation to generation trauma, past trauma. And we do that a lot to ourselves. Oh no, that ain't it. My dogs and my daughter are my life, man. Yeah, my kids are mine as well, brother. You know what? There's nothing I won't do for them. Everybody go check out Shayna. She has a page now, Shayna Ewing. Go check her out. Go subscribe to her. I'm gonna do a rundown. Ghetto, go subscribe to Ghetto. Great brother. He on Thursdays, I believe, he goes live with his son. He does game day or game night with his son. Beautiful, live. So go support him and his son. Brian Bridges, he may have a YouTube page. If he does, check him out. Thank you, Carbon, for putting a lot of people's she has tagged a couple people's YouTube page in the chat. So definitely check out everybody that she has pasted. Thank you, Ghetto, as well, for pasting. I appreciate you guys. They are my moderators in the back, right along with Guns and Barbecue. I appreciate these guys for everything they do for me as far as my lives. I appreciate you guys. The Best Life, man. Check him out if he has a YouTube page. Howard J. Like I said again, Carbon Q. Check her out for sure. Hot Tub Tony, he does not have a YouTube page, but that's one of the most dopest brothers I met while jumping on YouTube. Black Guns and Gardens, check him out, man. He teach you how to do the prepping. He's another prepper. Prepper 101, check him out. Solid guy. Love that guy. 2A in LA. Jovan, check him out. OG $2, check him out. He does do barbecue sauce and seasonings. I forget. Do I have his card down here? I might not. I'm not starting. I thought I had his card down here. I don't see it. But check him out on his Instagram. He does have, I think, everything in his Instagram as far as how to order his barbecue sauce and his seasonings. Check him out. Order some stuff from that brother. Real good. I was able to check out some of his seasoning while I was in Nashville. If you're diabetic, he does not put any salt. He's very low on salt and sodium. So definitely he makes it for the diabetic community as well. Silverback Tactical and Defense. Go check that brother out. Go check out Saint the Realist 2.0. Who else came by and said what's up? Jason Ewing, check him out. Part of the turkeys, tactical turkeys. They do good stuff over there as well. Howard J, check him out. Coy, check him out. Tech Life J, who is part of the Tactical Turkeys, please check that brother out. He has another one that has a very dope collection. I like his collection as well. Stardust 2, check her out. Go subscribe to her as well. She comes on Thursdays with Bougie Prepper. Check out Bougie Prepper while you're at it. They come on Thursdays. I hope I'm saying that right. Prepper 101, like I said. Black Guns and Gardens, check him out. Check out the Big Homie Ghetto. I think Mrs. Ghetto got a channel, if I'm not mistaken. But Ghetto, check him out. Like I said, he has a very dope channel. He does some things with his son. So on Thursdays, check him out with his son. They do some great stuff over there on Thursday nights. Check out 2 in LA. Check out Ready Ridge. Check that brother out. Life in Baton Rouge. Check him out. Life in Baton Rouge. Where you at? I just skipped you. And most of these people do have a Instagram, and I'm quite sure if you go into their bio, their Instagram will be locked into their Instagram description will be linked into a lot of them into their YouTube description, and you can definitely go check them out on IG. Check out Misunderstood 22. Check out Southern Belle Teacher. Check her out. Check out the Pimp 1984. Go subscribe to her. Subscribe to everybody that I'm talking about. If y'all could do me a favor, please. If you say your family, you're down for me, please go check these guys out. Please go subscribe to these guys. But I think that's it, y'all, as far as what I need y'all to check out. Like I said, Regular Gun Guy, check him out. James Wells, check that brother out. Y'all, if I'm not seeing y'all at the bottom because I'm going up, I'm strolling up on my comments and make sure that everybody that came through that I definitely shout out their channel for showing me love. So give me a second. I'll go back down to the comments in a minute. Down towards the bottom. Coy, go check out Coy. Another one of my brothers. Real good brothers I met in Nashville. COY, Coy. Go check them out. Saint the Realist, check him out, man. 2.0, check that brother out. Great brother. Yeah, I got a bearded dragon and 2 birds and my kids, but yeah. So Ghetto, once again, Carbon Q, thank you guys for being moderators for me. Thank you for throwing everybody YouTube pages on the site. So y'all go through here, pick out Carbon Q, which is a hard-working sister. And man, she supports everybody, help everybody out. And also Ghetto. Go through there. They have everybody links in the comment section. Go click on their pages, subscribe to these guys, and show them some love. Right, there you go. Make sure y'all put it's drip sauce. Go get y'all some drip sauce. We will do a part 3. The part 3 is going to be this barber. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's on YouTube. He goes on and do free haircut. He had a section where they was talking about trauma. So we're gonna do it at another angle next week. It's gonna be healing from past trauma part 3. Like I said, we're gonna do it at different angles. First one was healing through love. Second one was, healing generation to generation. And the next one is going to be something else. So I'll let y'all know what the next going to be. My 5 family. Go check these guys out. Man, Billy. I appreciate this brother. This brother, man, I didn't even ask this brother. Let me tell you how solid this brother is. I came out with Bulletproof Sunday live talk. And what day he called me or he texted me. I don't believe he called me. He said, man, check your messages. And checking my messages, man, this man drew me up my logo. The logo that y'all see. With the pretty, warning tape on it, and then with the vest and the bulletproof vest, that came from that man right there. He is my live stream logo designer, and he's something else I put in there. He did my logo, and he did something else. I don't remember what else he did. He did something else for me, but he did a design for 2 things for me. He created. He does my my thumbnails. So he's my logo designer and he's my thumbnail designer. Shout out to Billy from My 5 Family. Go check that brother out. He's definitely a solid brother. And then I asked him. I said, "What do I owe you?" He said, "I just want you to be successful." And man, from that day forward, I appreciate this brother. Definitely check that brother out. Patrick, what's going on? His wife has also made a YouTube page. Check her page out. Ghetto or Carbon, could y'all put Miss Erica, My 5 Family, link down there in the description as well. Shout out to her. She has just started her page. Let's go run her up. Let's go show her some support. Definitely my sister. Go show her some support. NY Outcast, what's going on? Definitely check out this brother right here. And where you at? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm clicking on everybody. NY Outcast, check him out. Carbon, thank you so much for dropping their link in the description. Thank you, brother, for coming through. I'm gonna show y'all something that I got. Y'all see this little rig right here? I told y'all I had got a book bag. And in that book bag, instead of my gun flopping everywhere, I need to find something to put it on. As you can see, it's my 7.5-inch AR-15 on a plate rig or something. But I'm gonna let y'all know it was big enough to fit in this bag. You see how big this bag is, right? It was wide and big enough to fit in this bag to where my gun, my AR-15. But thank you, Ghetto, man. I appreciate you. Because I don't know how to do none of it. So I appreciate you. But it's able to fit my 7.5-inch. And you see I got a 10 round in there. And then I got 2 40 rounders. So it's able to hold 2 magazines Chopping with Chan, what's going on? Check that brother out, y'all. Great brother as well. Hey, Shayna, she said get better, ghetto. Hey, I think he's doing a great job, y'all. But I have my 10 round already in there, and then I have two 40 round mags. That's it, right there on it. So I just slip this rig. I just slip it. It only has a zipper on the side, so I slip it in here, and then if I have to bug out and have to leave the house, this is what I'm leaving with, and it's already. That way, it's not flapping around. Oh, of course, man. Hey, ain't nothing but love over here, brother. If I call you family, hey, New York Outcast is a family member, man. So definitely go subscribe to that brother. Check him out. But I can slip it in here, and if I need to get it, all I gotta do is unloosen two straps right here at the what's the name? You got another strap right down here at the forend. So I know somebody had said something about it. I said I was hesitating to get it, but I'm kind of glad I did get it. It turned out to be real good for what I need it for. So stuff hit the fan. This is what's going to be as far as my secondary. It's going to be my AR-15 with two 40 rounders and a 10 round already ready to go in the gun. And I also have two more, but I either put on either my, which is probably, I do have one on here. So I do have some on my vest, and I do have some on my ready belt, on my battle belt. I'm sorry, not ready belt, John. And I also have one on my. And I'm going to do a review on this baby probably this week. And as you can see on my light duty one, I do have some mag holders as well. So I don't need to put them all on here. I do have other ways of carrying ammo. As you see, they're my two belts. Not only on my belts, but I do have on my light duty. I have two pistols and then one AR-15. So I'm able to carry one on here and then one in my belt. So that's where the two mags will come in as far as my but my light duty, I will be probably if I ain't gotta go, this will probably be in my get home bag. So which would be an AK-47. And if I need to, once I get that bag packed up and ready to go, I am going to start carrying this. I'm gonna start carrying my belt. And I am going to start carrying I'm gonna get the same bag with that same setup for my AK-47. And that AK-47 will be my get home bag. This is my shit hit the fan bag. If I gotta stay out for a long period of time. And with that setup, I do the green belt. Oh shit, y'all. If I ain't broke my damn magazine. So I would do shit hit the fan. And this motherfucker's heavy. I would do this vest with my green bug out. Because I would go with these two. That's my first aid kit, my dump pouch, my knife, drop down leg for my Glock 19. My Glock 19. And then I have flashlight, tourniquet, batteries. So this one is more, and then it has my Baofeng radio on the side of it. So this one more enhanced when it comes. And this motherfucker is heavy. Yeah. So that's the purpose of that one. That's to get me if I gotta go out. Now I'm not coming back home for quite some time. And then my all black setup is for if I need to get home, and that'll probably be my AK-47. That'll be if I gotta go out in the woods and do all that good stuff. Saint, what's going on? Y'all, I got these bags off Amazon, and I'm starting to fill them up. One of them gonna be, I think this one got all my water stuff in it. Oh yeah, thanks to Carbon Q, she done got me into this prepping thing. So this is gonna be my water supply. Anything dealing with water. Oh shit. As you can see, I'm a little light. Got the keys. Got the water filtration thing. I'm going to get the peels. I guess is how you call it. I'm gonna get the not the peels, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get the tablets, the water tablets, but they're gonna be in bags. These are supposed to be waterproof. So I got a bag. I think it was like 5 bags that came with it. From small to real big. This got my head in it. So I'll be throwing my blankets, socks, stuff like that in this bag. But they're supposed to be waterproof. That's the only reason I bought them, though. And like I said, they come in 5 different sizes. And, you know. But one is going to be medical. One is going to be for my clothing. One is going to be for fire. I want to do one for fire starting. I got to find my ride, y'all. But I got some waterproof matches. I got some regular matches with a little small box cutter in here. So I'm going to get some lighters to put in here and some more stuff. I'm getting up there, y'all. I'm trying to do this prepper stuff, but as you can see, I got to get a trauma kit and stuff. But this is dealing with, all this is medical hygiene, some scissors, some paracord, if I got to tie some up, toothpicks, some gloves, some antibiotics. I do wear glasses, so I got glass clean stuff. I am blind. And then you got some Benadryl, all type of stuff in here. So this is probably gonna be my my first aid kit. Got some gauze. Sprain your ankle some. I got that. So I'm gonna do a trauma. I'm gonna buy a trauma kit offline too, and put a trauma kit in here for some scissors, you know, all that other good stuff, y'all. Fat Guy with Guns. Definitely go subscribe to my brother, Fat Guy with Guns. That's the one knowledgeable brother, man. Go check him out as well. But that's, oh, and y'all, I gotta put some paracord in here, but I found another thing, y'all, online. I don't know what this, maybe, I know Carbon might know. This some, I was at $14 for some micro cord. Becoming a dispenser. I thought it was neat, y'all. You pull as much as you want through, and then you cut it. So I got some neat micro cord. I mean, I'm gonna put some paracord in here, but you can kind of use this stuff for fishing. Get you a stick, wrap it around, put your hook on it. Be good for fishing. I'm gonna throw some fishing stuff in here as well that you can make a smaller pole. But man, that's about it. I am about to get up out of here. I thank you guys for rocking with me for part 2, healing from past trauma, part 2. I am going to do a part 3. I will get in contact with my wonderful thumbnail designer creator, Mr. Billy from My Five Family later on, and do this part 3 in another aspect of things. But your mind and body is your best tool, absolutely. And check them out later on today. If you don't go check them out, we gonna fight. Yeah, we gonna fight. Go check out Erica on My Five Family. I think at 7 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock. Billy, let me know if I'm wrong or not. They come on later on today. Check them out. I don't know what time. I want to say 7. I could be wrong. 7 or 8, somewhere in there. Billy, let me know. Drop the comment when y'all guys come on tonight, so I can get in the correct time before I get up out of here. Because 7 Eastern, they will be on tonight. Go check that wonderful family out. It'll be him, his wife Erica, and then his son, young gunner, Mr. Alex himself. All right. All right. Well, Ghetto, tell me, get ready to get up out of here. Stop all your yapping. So I'm going to stop all my yapping. Thank you again for Ghetto. Thank you again for Miss Carbon Q. Thank you again for the Mr. Billy, the one and only Billy from My Family. They helped me in Guns and Barbecue as my other, whatever you call them. They know who they are, moderators. Thank them for keeping and helping me with this wonderful thing we call live. Without these people, I couldn't make it. So thank you a lot, y'all. Y'all be good, be safe, have a safe week. Watch your six, and make sure that you treat others as you would want to be treated. Love you guys. Peace. Dang it.